Pregame.com.
NBA action Thursday night. We've got the Boston Celtics traveling to play the Chicago Bulls. I'm Marco D'Angelo, and I'm joined by Scott Spreitzer. Scott, talk about a quick revenge game. These two just played on Sunday. We're taping on Wednesday, and as you know, we're taping. We don't have the lines out yet, but it makes it even tougher with this game set the stage because we don't know for sure Derrick Rose in the lineup, out of the lineup, and obviously there's a big difference in line when he plays and when he doesn't play.
3 or 4 points, maybe a couple of baskets and where the line sits if he plays or not. And, as we got ready to do this segment, we did see that he is doubtful for Thursday night's game, but obviously that status can change. Yeah, I was watching that game on Sunday, and Boston was in control most of the way against a Chicago Bulls team that was, again, without Derrick Rose then. It's kind of funny because I'm looking at this contest and I'm thinking the guys that are still going to play in this contest, and of course Deng is back. I would almost rather Derrick Rose not play in this game, no offense to Derrick Rose, but because I think the rest of the group of Chicago Bulls players who are going to be available for this game are going to be refocused after that loss on Sunday, and we're going to get a line that's 3 or 4 points shorter of where it would be if Rose was 100% healthy and in the game. So in a sense, I'm almost thinking, I might be more inclined to jump on Chicago in this game if Derrick Rose doesn't play.
Well, I agree with you. I'm a big advocate of the injured player theory because, I've said it many times. You get two things. One, you get your team, like you said, is more focused because everybody needs to compensate for the loss of the star. But you're also getting generally an overreaction to the line because Vegas knows the public's going to, bet against the injured team. Sure. They always do, and it's compounded when you throw the game on TV. It's going to make it even more because more people are going to bet this game because they're going to watch it. So you get added value. I can't disagree with the Chicago side in this game. One thing that one of my little pet systems or angles will support your Chicago play. Chicago just finished up a long road trip. The Boston game was the last game of that road trip. They came home last night, played their first home game. It doesn't matter what sport it is. I like to do it in baseball. I like to do it in basketball. When teams have long road trips and they come home that first game, I think the first game is their worst game at home because they got to get back into their normal routine. I mean, these guys, they're athletes, but they're still husbands, fathers, and everything else, and they got to, their kids want to see
16
them.
girlfriends.
Yeah, well, this too, but they got that on the road too. So what's the difference there? Lucky guys. Yeah. But
I'm just jealous. That's all.
But the situation is, their normal when they get back home, it's not they go back to their normal routine, but their normal routine is sometimes a distraction. Sure. So I think that first game is the way, and you saw it Tuesday night. They played, Sacramento, and they only won by 6, laying double digits. I always think the second game back home, which is what this game is going to be, is the better situation for that home team coming off the road trip. And you'll get a little bit of a line adjustment because they're going to look that last game wasn't so good, so Vegas is going to shade you a little bit. But where I'm going to go in this game is I'm going to look at the total. And the first game that they played on Sunday, that wasn't a typical Chicago Bull game. That game got into the 90s. The Bulls are one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. Sure. And I think revenge, that was the last game of the long road trip. They had to start getting tired being on the road as long as they were in that road trip. I mean, it was a 9-game road trip. We're not talking about a 3-game road trip. Right. They were on the road for a long time. I think they're going to be really energized and focused. Revenge, back home. This game's going to be played in the 80s.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I got to look for the under because we're going to get some value based on people are going to look at that total from the last game. And just like you said, you'd rather not see Derrick Rose because it will affect your line. For the total, I'd actually like to see Derrick Rose because if he's in there, then you're going to get even more value on the total because they're automatically going to up the total because their scorer's back. But he's a great defensive player too, and I just think it's a perfect situation for the under in this game.
I think if Derrick Rose is back and he's even 90% healthy, then you're not going to see Rajon Rondo get 32 points, 15 assists, and 10 or 11 boards or whatever he had on Sunday. Triple-double for him. Kevin Garnett had a double-double, although his points were nothing special, 13 points and 12 boards in the game. They play, of course, tonight. We're recording this segment Wednesday late afternoon. They're playing tonight on Wednesday night. couple of injury notes for Boston. Brandon Bass, everybody knows, is out, and he's still out. But, Garnett, Pietrus, they're both listed as probable for Wednesday night's game, or questionable or probable. I think it was upgraded during the day. So we have to see how they are tonight, how they function against the Detroit Pistons. Now, what we'd like to see is for Boston to come out and lay one on Detroit. If that happens, then we get a little bit more value, possibly with the Chicago Bulls, especially if Derrick Rose doesn't play in this game. But all things considered, I think Tom Thibodeau is going to have his Chicago Bulls. He's probably showing them tapes of Rajon Rondo hitting shot after shot, dishing out assist after assist, and getting to the glass like he can tend to do if you don't block out this guy as a guard. I mean, he can get your 10, 11 rebounds per game at times. And so I think you're going to see Tebow really laying it on him on Thursday night. And of course, Thibodeau, did I say Tebow? Thibodeau knows Rondo and the Boston system as well as any coach this side of Doc Rivers. So I suspect he'll have a good game plan for Rondo in this one, whether Rose plays or not.
Hey, Tebow shows up everywhere.
I'm telling you.
At least the Tebow's done. At least we got Linsanity to take it over now. So you got to get Linsanity in there. This week, the producer can put it in the tag, so we'll get more views on.
I'm actually paid for the number of times I say Tebow. I don't know if you knew that.
I got to get a new agent. But I think that is when one player goes off in a game, you know that your game plan, your adjustments are going to be focused on that guy. So you take Rondo out of it, again, that's going to come into my play with the under. So I think you got two plays here. You like Chicago. I like the under here. I think we're both on the right sides with the game. And as long as I see the over-under on this game come out at 175 or higher, which I don't think is going to be a problem, I'm going under.
Sounds good to me. And I tell you what, one last note on Boston is that they've only covered 5 of the last 19 times playing in the second of back-to-back nights. So that goes against that aging team again.
Yeah, they are aging, and aren't we all? But the Celtics, they had the benefit earlier in the year. They didn't play too many of those back-to-backs. Some, the schedule maker was cutting them a break, but now they're starting to get some of those. So we'll see how that goes. There you have it. Scott likes the Bulls minus the points on Thursday. I like the game under the total, so you got a little double bubble play from both of us there. You can enjoy the game and the side. We're going to be back with another game on Wednesday. Big game in the Big Ten. Wisconsin and Michigan State. And be sure to carry on the conversation. Go to pregamevideos.com. We'll have our show notes, and you can ask us any questions and updates on the injuries on game day. Thanks for watching.